Well, I was quite young when my father passed on, but he did tell us some information about his involvements in the War of Independence, and he was involved in the felling of trees and blocking of roads and digging trenches to cause disruption to the British forces that were around the area at the time. He was an officer in command with the Ballyclough outfit, and they used to mobilise with other troops in other areas, and they were all volunteers, and they were involved in burning of barracks and British barracks, and that's because they were trying to cause as much disruption as they could to the British forces to try and get back the independence of this country for themselves and for the rest of us. Most of his activities would have been around the Mallow, Butterford area, because that's where he was living, and at the time transportation wouldn't have been most of the transportation would have been cycling, so they would have been reasonably restricted. At one particular section, at one particular time, they were involved in where they captured a spy, and they handed the spy over, we presume, to be shot, and which would have been a standard punishment for spies at the time. He was also involved in the digging of trenches on some of the roads around the Mallow barracks, trying to cause disruption. The barracks was being attacked, or was attacked at a later stage, and when my father Con would have been involved in felling of trees and cutting trenches to block roads to stop the British troops from getting in and capturing the people who had attacked the barracks. So they would have been effectively responsible for the escape of the people who had set fire to the barracks. And I suppose at the time, he would have been a young man, and the country would have been under British rule at the time, and a lot of the young men would have been trying to fight for freedom, and so he would have effectively been, I suppose, what you would call a freedom fighter. And I suppose that would have been his personal reason for being involved in it. He wanted Ireland to be a free country, which it is today, thank God. And that I suppose would have been the reason that he was involved in it first day. Well, after the war, he got a job in the county council, where he would have had his involvement would have been with road construction. The name of the medal is colonial, and this would have been awarded to him for his activities in the War of Independence.